Is there a heaven for a poet? If so, then I'm at the entrance. Hard to believe when I was relentless. Single parent home had me gone with a vengeance. Educated but somehow elevated into a menace. Walking on rough terrain taught me to take care of my tennis. Paying close attention taught me how to finish. I used to have trouble writing on the lines. Thunderstorms introduced me to poems, now I'm watching time. I didn't become a poet by choice. I stumbled across two people talking with one voice. One mic, ain't no telling what I would write. Mama said I was bright. Besides, my poems became her guiding light. At night, heard my stepdad would fight. When the sun would ignite, I'd write things to gather her wings and put her back in flight. That was the type of life I observed. I'm glad the spiritual realm taught me how to switch serves. I picked up a pen, dipped it in my blood. See, poetry is my bud, my road dog, my kin. Stared at it on the pages, just to look at it was contagious. I became infected and better connected as I crossed over into different stages. I was baptized in it, I ran in it, I fought in it. The fisherman threw the net and I got caught in it. When I first stood over the toilet and peed on the pot in it. Sleeping ICU, 30 days to shake through, I got shot in it. Sitting at my school desk, I learned to take poetry beyond the bricks. Sitting in the jail cell is where God and poetry started to mix. Keeping focused during the approach to the locust is how you tap into the powers. He's always with you, I was just too busy saying I'd catch up with you some other hour. It always seemed to rain on progress. Stress from what the world was trying to make me process. I've started to see if I speak it, it'll show up. My uncle said I would be a philosopher when I grow up. Who would believe that notion? Profound poetry in motion. What's done on one side must be done on the other. Science and mathematics is what I've discovered. Faith is what it spins on. Will I grip God's will is what it depends on. I can't wait until my soul sees me in the end zone. Smiling. I went on an African safari to get to this island. For years I had to travel, back and forth across the Nile, using my eyes as an eagle in an owl. Living in the last days, trouble don't last always. Peace comes in a little while. I had to learn that slowly. The soil knew the seed would become holy. And my garden produced some of the best teachers, those ones that really could reach us and activate the flesh. I used to ignore my teachers. Now I find myself teaching in the bleachers. Two took the trip upstairs. If we all make it to heaven, have the reverend prepare a table with 12 chairs. I become this, scribbling in my pad, glad to get a numb wrist. Sitting down with a moon pie and a sun kiss. Ready for God to start knocking. Grab my pen, let the confirmation begin, then we start blocking. Let civilization know my consciousness is about to start cocking. Didn't know vision could fit so good. I had to put it on twice. False prophets mark the dice. I'm about to put them on ice. A Harvard degree minus the expensive price. And an all-expense paid trip to paradise. Just me and Christ. Paint pictures in the wind. Thinking about those times when I wanted church but wouldn't go. So you found a way to inject it in me real slow. Divide and conquer. Separated me from the world and built me a bunker. And in it I sat, and I sat. And you fed me spiritual food until I got real fat. Taught me how to teach 360 to a stray cat. Took me right down the alleys where the roaches and rats lay at. Taught me not to complain. Taught me to write it and make it plain. Then I became just as swift as the fox, growling and prowling until I broke out the box. One of the original X-Men. My transformation wasn't a trick. You just gotta know how to look quick. Look, this is how poetry looks. I'm lyrical acid, pass me a notebook. I'm in love with poetry. I admit to the addiction. Time and time again, I'm using pens to ride the waves of fact and fiction. I'm not entertained by the surface, it has purpose no more. Diagnosed with a poetry overdose in '94. poetry is me or more, so I don't decline quality time. And she don't have to thank me, cause quite frankly, I love being the essence of her mind. There should be an extension of the word appreciate, because even when it's thundering, I'm only wondering how to make your name elevate. She tells me to be vocal. She's international, so she acts irrational if I stay local. She's my alpha, before and after, so I have to handle this dynamic, divine, delicious dandelion real careful. Hold her hands, rub her feet, make sure her lemon tea stays sweet. God placed her in the center of my street, so I hand gave her my soul for hers to hold and critique. So when my situations get harder, I write like Langston Hughes is my grandfather. I'm in love with poetry. She rests upon my lips. Got carnal minds jealous of our relationship. A poetic seed with a poetic need to sow it. Is there a heaven for a poet?